Busy day.
How many PS5 games have you got?
That's a good point, actually. 30, maybe 40?
Have you even got a life?
Yes, I got a life. I play games. I have a social life. I have a girlfriend.
So where's she at then?
Well, she said she was doing the food shop, and that was about a week ago. You know what?
What?
I think it's 40 games I've got. You know what I love about you guys is that sometimes you comment and you give me ideas for future videos. Just like this one, make a video on your entire PS5 collection and rank them. So I went through my entire collection, ones I downloaded, ones I streamed, and all my physical games. And I came to the conclusion that
I have no life.
number 41, 41 games, not 40, because 41 games doesn't sound right on the title, so sorry. FIFA 21, a football series that I grew up with since FIFA 97 on my PS1, where the game mechanics and graphics were so realistic.
And the referee is signalling for a throw-in.
As the series grew, the graphics and the gameplay got better and better. From the technology that we used to have back on the PS1 and PS2 and even PS3, it was amazing. Every year we would see a massive improvement in this FIFA series, and I loved it. I absolutely loved the game every year. Fast forward and EA released the same damn game every year. Someone bought it for me because I wasn't going to buy that. Nothing had changed from the game. They only focus on Ultimate Team, and I hate the game. Number 40. What's better than FIFA 21, but it's still the same damn game? FIFA 22. I downloaded it from the PS Plus free monthly game, and you never guess what?
It's the same damn game.
So we're moving on. Number 39. Tribes of Midgard was one of those games that caught my eye. I love Norse mythology, and I thought, you know what, I can get into this game. You build your own village, you have to scavenge for materials and fight off monsters and other giants and beings all in real time. At the same time, if you do not upgrade certain materials or weapons, you're gonna get your ass kicked to the curb. So I died like after 5 days and had to start a new game. So I tried again, and all I found myself doing was looking at YouTube and watching a whole load of walkthroughs to help me get through the game. The idea of the game I really like, but I felt a bit rushed knowing that these giants are going to come and kill me, and I couldn't really go and explore and scavenge supplies in my own time. I had to do certain things in a certain order to make sure I did survive the days to come. Number 38. I'm not much of a multiplayer game. I'm a lot older than you guys, so it's all about story-driven games for me.
We're not that old.
Yes, we are. Exactly. I only recently started playing Fortnite with the no build option because I can't do all of that damn building shit. When I started playing the no build, I had so much fun with the game. I was actually good. I think I even came top 5, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm part of the young crew. I think it's an amazing game. None of my mates play online, and I don't really have a lot of friends online to play Fortnite with. So from time to time I will play it, but it would only be for a couple of games, and then I'm straight back on the single player game. So yeah. Number 37. Grand Theft Auto 5, a game that is released on 3 generations, and I haven't played it since the PS3, and I don't care for GTA Online. When it came out on PS5, I thought, for £8, I'm going to download that. Why not? I haven't played it in years. I'm probably going to love it. I downloaded it on PS5, started playing, and it is the same damn game.
That was legitness. Yeah, it was, huh?
Yes, it's kind of impressive. I don't really notice the difference. It was still an amazing game back then. After 20 minutes of playing, I stopped playing because I was like, I know the game, I know the story. There's no reason for me to play this again. But for £8, it's great to have, I guess.
Can't wait for it to come out on PS6.
Number 36. Tiny Tina's Wonderland, a game I thought I would be addicted to, and I did for the first 3 to 4 hours of the game. It's a spin-off game to the Borderlands series, and you get to design your own character in this mythical world where Tina and her friends are essentially playing a board game, and you are the character. I love the art style of the game. I love the way that little head going around, you're in like a big board game, and then you go into each level. After a few hours, the missions feel very, very repetitive. The enemies feel repetitive. The guns are cool. Didn't really keep me playing, and I stopped playing the game very quickly. I think I only played 4 to 5 hours, and that was a waste of money. Pretty much. Number 35. Little Nightmares, made really for the PS4, but I'm still classing it as a PS5 game. Actually, I'm not sure why I'm classing it as a PS5 game, but it's on this list anyway, and we're going to talk about it. You play as a little hungry girl, and you have to find your way outside the moor. You have to use light, uncover puzzles, run, creep in order to avoid these weird enemies. It's a fun and gripping game, but at the same time I got very frustrated because I couldn't actually find where to go. I was so confused. I was like, there's no way. Where do I go? And then I looked on YouTube and thought, oh, that's how you do it. I didn't really give it a lot of time. I stopped playing the game quite early and I swiftly moved on. Number 34. I haven't played Dying Light 1. I decided to buy Dying Light 2. The game was broken and there were so many glitches when I started playing, and the one thing I hate about a game is when it gets released broken. The story doesn't seem that interesting. You play as Aiden, the protagonist, and it takes place 20 years after Dying Light 1. Some of the missions were laughable, retrieving a pair of shoes.
Go look for a large red box with gold trim. That's where I stored my shoes.
I really stopped playing the game very early. That's just me. But come on, a mission about shoes.
Fine. Chicken.
Number 33. Deathloop, a game that I have tried to play twice now. I got very bored the first time I played the game. It just felt like I was repeating the same levels and same missions. It didn't feel like I was in a time loop. A few months ago, I decided to give it another go. I started again and I thought, I'm gonna do this. I quickly got bored again and I stopped playing. The characters, the dialogue, Colt, they are so good at what they do. The acting is amazing. The enemies are pretty stupid. The AI is so stupid, and I think they've updated that. I'm just very confused how this game has got 10 out of 10s. Literally have no interest in going back to the game for a third time. Yeah. Number 32. The first game of Ratchet Clank was a great surprise with the 60 FPS update. I wanted to play it before Rift Apart just so I know the story and the controls, and it was a fun game. The story doesn't really matter and I can't even remember it, to be honest, but you get so many guns, so many weapons, and it is just one of those games that you can pick up, enjoy, have some fun shooting some enemies and going to different worlds with your little partner Clank. It's free on the PS Plus, so you might as well download it if you want a game that you can just chill with and just shoot the out of people. Number 31. I haven't played a Call of Duty game for a very long time, but when I bought my PS5, I had to buy Call of Duty. You know what you're gonna get from Call of Duty. Not a multiplayer fan, as I've already said. I started playing the story and I couldn't believe how short the story was. As I was getting into it, about 4 to 5 hours later, it's done.
Okay, a bit of Call of Duty. Well, it's finished. What? I just died. Are these credits?
Zombies was really fun, even if I was playing on my own. I really enjoyed that. For a story of 4 to 5 hours, there's nowhere near enough content for me to stay. The amount of effort that went into the campaign, I'm just disappointed. Number 30. You either hate or love the story about Aloy and the machines. I absolutely loved the story, but in terms of the gameplay of Horizon Zero Dawn, it was so clunky. When I used to fire my arrow, it used to go all the way to the left, and it was more frustrating more than anything. Fighting these machines, I felt so frustrated. I loved the story. That was the only thing that was keeping me going, because I wanted to complete it before I played Forbidden West. I've never wanted to complete a game so quickly in my life. I skipped all the dialogue. I didn't care about the NPCs. Near the end of the game, I didn't care about doing side missions. It was too big, too bloated. And I was like, let me just finish this damn game. I think I even put it on very easy because that last boss was so hard. I've never wanted to complete a game so quickly in my life. Number 29. I think we were all put off when Guardians of the Galaxy got announced because of Avengers. There were different developers, so I thought I'm going to buy the game and I'm going to give this a go. Characters are on point. The acting, the relationship between all the Guardians are actually really funny. Something didn't feel right though controlling Star-Lord. He felt very slow, it didn't feel fluid, and it just didn't get me addicted to the gameplay. Not to mention the cutscenes alongside that were so long, I was just sitting there watching a movie, or I thought I was watching a movie.
It will be made real. Proceed to Sector 7. With faith.
Well, the good news is we're not.
Oh yeah, it's a game. I thought I was watching a movie.
I think the way you controlled your Guardians was quite cool, where you could use their special abilities. Apart from that, I didn't really like it. I didn't like the game. It just didn't feel right. And I think watching the game, I would prefer it. Number 28. To be honest, this should be a lot lower on this list. I get upset when I talk about The Last of Us Part 2, a game that essentially ruined its franchise, which I don't know why they did. So we're going to break this up into gameplay, graphics, and story. Playing this game, I have never seen such realistic character models and environments. On the PS4 as well. Going prone, more importantly, dodging took this game to another level. I believe this was a masterpiece in terms of the graphics and the gameplay. The NPCs were so realistic, the way they would call out their names. Everything about the game technically was amazing. But let's talk about the story. It is one of the worst sequels I've ever experienced in gaming and probably movies. Not sure why it was written like this by Neil Druckmann, but he obviously hates men. In what universe does Abby have ridiculously huge arms in a post-apocalyptic America where food is scarce? And I'm pretty sure she ain't going to be working out every day either. Yeah, let's just go against the laws of biology, why don't we? The way they killed Joel, it was sloppy, it was poor writing, it did not make sense how Joel was in the first game versus how he was at the start of the game. It just did not make sense. After completing the game, I sent it back to Amazon for false advertising and I got my full money back. So it all ends well, unless you're holding a golf club. Number 27. I haven't played a Far Cry game since I believe Far Cry 2 or 3. It was such an enjoyable game for me. I understand when people say that they hated it because it's the same bullshit from the last game. I liked the story. I thought it was a cool concept, being in Yara and there's a cure for cancer. Anton Castillo uses it against his own people because they're actually killing people. I loved the mechanics of the game. The FPS, the shooting was great. The NPCs were a bit retarded, or very retarded actually. Kept me addictive all the way through to the end. It didn't give me a reason to get back to the game. Ah, mate, some of the music in this game was unbelievable. Overall, the shooting was great and no bugs.
No more gates!
Number 26. Hades is not my usual sort of game. I'm not really into roguelike action games, but when my mate forced me to get it, he actually bought it for me instead. It's such a fun and addictive game. Playing as Zagreus, Hades' son, your goal is to escape the underworld, and as you die, you upgrade abilities and you try and try again. You visit the same areas, but they are all mixed up. You keep trying and uncover secrets and stories from different characters you meet in the game. I understand why this game receives so many awards. It's addictive and fun. You can get lost in this game. Number 25. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, a game not about assassins, but Vikings. This was the first game I played on my PS5, and this was the first Assassin's Creed game that I've played since the Ezio collection. At first, I absolutely loved the game. I was addictive. I racked up over 100 hours. As I got to the end of the game, I quickly realized I'm getting drained of playing this game. I didn't really care about riding my horse. Fast traveling everywhere, wanted to complete the game. The story pacing was awful. I loved leveling up, changing my character, changing the different cosmetics. I didn't buy any with the microtransactions, forget that. Loved the way you could customize your character. That was really fun to me. I was tempted in buying stuff for my character, but I thought, no, I'm not going to do it.
Mom, I didn't spend anything on a cloak. I'll pay you back.
When I completed the game, I was quite drained. DLCs were a waste of time. Same shit, didn't really come to a conclusion. It made me miss the old Assassin's Creed games. Number 24. Cyberpunk 2077. A game which is like matching with someone on Tinder and you meet them and they are literally...
Who are you?
What you mean?
You are not the man in this picture.
I played with it with the PS5 update and got it on discount, and the game has so much potential. The story and the characters are really well done, and with that PS5 upgrade, it really did improve the game massively. I loved the guns, I loved the way it moved, I loved the cars. There was quite a few funny glitches, bugs, things didn't make sense in the game. The upgrade system in the weapons section was so confusing. I just did not understand it. It was so overwhelming. They are bringing DLCs to the game, so it might bring me back to the game. When I finished the game, I was satisfied with the story, but I felt like this was such a waste of potential. When you complete the game, you're just not sad. You're just upset. You're just upset. Number 23. Metro Exodus, a survival first-person horror game. You play as Artyom, a guy who wants to see the world as they live underground, a place called the Exodus. A post-apocalyptic setting, and you must find answers and travel throughout Russia to find out if there are any people living above ground. Limited bullets, limited ammo, and you have to be strategic. You have different weapons that you can upgrade. but the one thing for me is ammo is very low. You just don't go off blazing your gun. The story is an emotional roller coaster, and as you get to the middle of the game, you start to actually love some of these characters, and near the end of the game, it's quite touching what happens. It will keep you hooked, and with the DLCs as well. Number 22, Resident Evil 2. I haven't completed this game yet, mainly because I have no damn ammo, and I keep running out, and this guy is currently chasing me.
Oh, fuck.
The visuals and the frame rate is ridiculously good. You play as a younger Leon, but as I played, I kind of got frustrated more than anything because of the low ammo and because the puzzles are so hard. They're so hard, I had to keep researching on YouTube. Maybe it's just me and I'm a bit thick. Number 21. I recently completed Alan Wake Remastered. This is a very, very good game that you can get cheap. A third-person horror game as you play as Alan Wake, an author who goes away with his wife. She disappears and you find yourself in a car accident. A week has actually passed by and you don't know if this is all in your head or this is real. As you play the game, you find manuscripts that you have written, and the way it's narrated is amazing. It feels like a Hitchcock film, and if you don't know what those films are, you need to go and watch these. You have to use your torch and guns to kill these beings. Flashbangs, flares to help you as well, so there's a lot of ammo in the game. The ending is actually crazy. I'm really excited because Alan Wake 2 will be coming, so this is a game to be watching out for. Number 20. Who doesn't remember Crash Bandicoot, the PlayStation icon who is going to be owned by Microsoft? Oh, Jesus. It is such a hard game, fun game to accomplish at the same time. There are so many worlds, levels, and you get to visit as well as playing some other cool characters. Coco, Dr. Neo, Dingodile, if I said that right, and Torna. I think I said those names all wrong. You will be tested in this game. I guarantee you, you will struggle to complete this game. I haven't completed it yet. Number 19. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Another game about assassins. I played this game after Valhalla, and I enjoyed this game so much more because of the Greek mythology. The map is huge and the graphics and the places you see are breathtaking. This reminds me of what actual ancient Greece would be like. Seeing the architectures, the colors. The combat is really fun as you can block, parry. Is similar to Immortals Fenyx Rising. You get to customize your character, and it's all about customization in this game. The only thing about this game is that you can tell they want you to buy XP. I was leveling up so much. The game was feeling really, really hard. I had to do these pointless side missions to get some XP that were so pointless to the point that it was delivering a letter 5 meters down the road.
This is for you.
Thanks.
Number 18. Astro's Playroom is one of my favorite games on the PS5. To this day, it's the only game that has taken full advantage of the PS5 DualSense. The world you get to visit, what I love about this game is that it's all about PlayStation. You get to collect collectibles, everything from PlayStation's history. When you go to your showroom, you collect all of these collectibles and you see the entire history of PlayStation. It's unbelievable being a PlayStation fan since the PS1. Number 17. Now this is a game I really enjoyed, but it was too short, and that is Stray. What's so nice about this game is you do not feel stressed, pressured, or frustrated. I love what the developers did with this game, the story behind the world and why humans have disappeared, and why there are robots trapped in this cyberpunk dome. The first part is the saddest part as you lose your family, and throughout the game, those questions never really get answered about where your family is. Now the jumping is the only thing that a lot of people complained about. You just move around and you see the X button pop up and you just press X. There's not much thinking involved. It can be annoying. I think this game is just more about exploring as a cat. Now if there is a sequel, this could be big, and it's free on the PlayStation subscription service, and when it does come out I will be purchasing it as well to have the box set. Why? Because I want to waste my money. Number 16. If you already have Uncharted 4, then you can pay £10 and upgrade to the Legacy of Thieves edition. Uncharted The Lost Legacy I never played, and it's just more Uncharted as you play as Chloe. And with that PS5 upgrade, Uncharted 4 looks amazing with the 60 FPS update, and as you play as Nathan Drake. Now he's one of the OG PlayStation characters, and if you haven't played this game, I would recommend you play all of the ones before before you play Uncharted 4. Trust me, game is a great ending to a great character arc. Naughty Dog are capable of not ruining franchises. Number 15. Horizon Forbidden West, one of the most hyped games for the PS5, I feel like it did deliver. It didn't take the series into a new direction, it did improve and polish the game from Zero Dawn. It did tidy up the combat and aiming, and it makes it easier to transverse and climb as it highlights those areas. I did enjoy the game, but at the same time, it still felt very bloated. I loved doing everything in a game. Near the end of the game, I didn't want to because it just felt so bloated. I didn't really care for some of the new characters I met on these side missions. There's always a reason to go back with a new upgrade that you can get different weapons. I don't see myself going back to playing that, but the story is very strong. I don't think it's worth £69, but yeah. Number 14. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart showcases the DualSense like no other game apart from Astro's Playroom. There are no loading screens, the different weapons you get in this game and how it feels with the DualSense is ridiculous. Even when you're on these skates and you're transversing, it feels unbelievable. It's just a shame Xbox don't have that sort of controller. Whoa! Okay, calm down. You've got Call of Duty in a few years. How do you think we feel? I live here. Number 13. A Plague's Tale Innocence is one of the most underrated games out there. I didn't even know this game existed. The story of a brother and sister who have to flee the French Acquisition. This third-person horror game is nerve-wracking. Using stealth and your sling, you have to distract and kill enemies, and you have to really think about your next move. You have different ammo types that you can use, such as rocks to kill enemies or poison to make enemies take off their helmet before you kill them. You can upgrade these abilities and use light and fire to avoid these rats which will kill you. It's such an emotional story, and with the new game coming out, the sequel, Requiem, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to play this game. Number 12. Another horror game with Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. It recently got an upgrade for the PS5. You follow Ethan Winters in first person to find his psycho wife who has been demonized. Yeah, this is some next level bullshit. There are a shitload of jump scares. Some of the weapons you get in this game, like your shotgun, that is probably the best one. Your handgun, it feels really good with the PS5 DualSense. The puzzles you have to do to get through this game can be hard. I'm looking around for hours on end. Just make sure you use your knife when you can. That's the biggest thing I kept doing, was using my ammo for stupid things where I should have been using my knife, and then I get killed and have to start again. Number 11. I've never got into Star Wars, but Star Wars Jedi Fallen is such a gripping story. You must flee the Empire who are after you because you are a Jedi. Your goal as Cal is to rebuild the Jedi. The combat is hard. You have to learn to block, parry, use heavy and light attacks. As you upgrade your lightsaber, you can turn it into a double lightsaber. It's absolutely crazy. And with the sequel coming next year, this is a must play. It's just freaking hard. And it's EA. How? Number 10. Moving on to the top 10 now. We're going to start off with Spider-Man Remastered. Insomniac Games have delivered once again with one of the best Spider-Man games to date. Upgrade from the PS4 with the frame rate and the graphical updates, from the story, from the characters, from the enemies. So many iconic enemies in this game. There's so much to do in the city. It's a very long game. And on top of that, you get 3 DLCs to the game, which would then move over to Spider-Man Miles Morales. I do dream about being Spider-Man sometimes. It's pretty sad. Number 9. Kena Bridge of Spirits, one of those short games around 8 to 10 hours long, which has a special place in my heart. I love this game for its art style, its music. Kena, a spirit guide who has to uncover the evil that has taken over her world and restore it. I started playing this game again recently because there's an update coming soon that you can get massive cosmetics. You get different enemies that are added into the game, and it is one of those games made by 2 brothers that you have to appreciate what they've done. It feels like The Legend of Zelda for PlayStation. A hard game. A very fucking hard game. The combat is similar to Demon's Souls because you have to really think about how your enemy is working and you have to identify their controls. And that's why I stuck it on super easy. Number 8. Elden Ring is a contender for Game of the Year, but with God of War Ragnarok coming soon, it's going to be up there. You might be surprised that this is 8 on my list. I found this game very, very hard. This game takes open world to a new level. I think developers in the future are going to copy this way because it gives you the ultimate freedom. It's 8 on my list because I just find it fucking hard. I've upgraded my character and I'm obviously just shit at the game. I'm nearly at the end and I'm feeling more frustrated more than anything. It's not a game you can really relax relax to. I have to really get myself psyched up to play this game. I'm at this point of defeating this boss and I cannot be bothered to do it. I just want something a little bit more enjoyable in terms of probably easier. Like every little thing and I die.
The more effort I put in, the more I learn from this, I can do it. Alright, well then never mind, I'm gone.
Number 7. Resident Evil Village, a badass game with some very hot vampire ladies. Sorry about that. Ethan Winters has to deal with more shit as his daughter has now been abducted. I replayed this game 3 to 4 times. There's a hell of a lot of jump scares in this game, especially in the castle. It's such an addictive game. That's why I think it's just so good, especially for a single player narrative game. The DLC is coming where you play as an older Rose and they're also adding a third person view to it. Number 6. A Ubisoft game in number 6 with Immortals Fenyx Rising. One of the most underrated games. I think it's overshadowed by Assassin's Creed. I love Greek mythology and I love the way they have put this comedic effect.
You're not going to kill me?
What? You thought you were getting out of this that easy?
It's colourful, it's beautiful. There's so much to do in this game. The quests are really, really fun. You get some really fun puzzles. You get to visit these vaults. And there is a lot of thought that has gone into this game. The promotion was next to nothing. If you're struggling with money or you feel like you want to buy a game that's not too expensive, you will get this game cheap and you will get your money's worth. See, Ubisoft, you can still make good games. Number 5. Top 5, and we are kicking off with Spider-Man Miles Morales. I just preferred Spider-Man Miles Morales because it was a different take to Spider-Man. Being invisible, having his Venom electric thingamajig. It's a really short game, but I just enjoyed it more. The story, the characters, and I loved the ending to the game. I just wish it was a little bit longer. It was probably a DLC. It could be classed as a DLC. But there are so many cool side missions. You get some cool collectibles. And with Spider-Man 3 coming next year, you just know this is going to be madness. Number 4. I did my research before playing Demon's Souls because it's a very, very hard game. It is one of the best remakes to date. Remade from the PS3 version. One of the most beautiful games on the PS5. I actually completed it 3 times, and the second and third time I played it through, I changed my character to a knight because I felt so much more confident in actually beating this game. It's not for everyone because it's such a long game. So if you die 10 minutes into this level, you have to start again. And that's the one thing that could be so frustrating. Surprisingly, the last boss in this game was actually really easy. I was actually so surprised. I was like, what? Is that it? Number 3. Top 3, and we are going with God of War 2018. If Ragnarok was already out, you just know it would be on this list. Now, I recently played this on the PS5, and with the upgrade, it's a beautiful game. The frame rate, the way they bring Greek and North mythology into this, talking about it gets me hyped for Ragnarok. This is one of the best games on the PS5. That latest trailer with Kratos and Thor. Even if you've played this game, I recommend playing it again on PS5 because it will be a different experience from PS4. Number 2. Now, you're probably going to hate me for putting this at number 2. I really, really love Death Stranding Director's Cut. The reason Death Stranding is on this list is because Kojima tries something different. He tries to do something completely different from the norm. It is such a story-driven game. Being in a post-apocalyptic America, there are these beach things that take over. You are basically a delivery guy who delivers cargo to rebuild America and to get them connected. The world is so empty. It's so rich at the same time because this is the reality of this world. Just transversing and moving around is quite hard. After you reach 10 hours of the game, it starts to progress, and some people might hate that. I love to give a game a chance. Eventually you get weapons, you get guns, you get trucks, you can easily transverse areas. The whole thing about death in this game is very, very moving. It does make you think about death when you do play this game, and as you get to the end of the game, it's just very, very moving. I was quite upset when I finished the game because I didn't want it to end, but I think you should play it. I think you should play it. Number 1, Ghost of Tsushima. I was really thinking hard about what my top 10 should be, but there was no doubt that Ghost of Tsushima was going to be on this list. An authentic Japanese samurai game. I played this game over 100 hours. I'm currently on a 3rd playthrough. Everything about this game amazed me. The combat, the different stances you get, the way you killed enemies and fought. It felt like the old Assassin's Creed games. This was one of the best games, or best game I have played currently on the PS5. The side characters have got their own story. The Mongols have taken over your world and you have to save your uncle who is head of Tsushima. Every side character in this game is so important. Every side mission is relatable to the main mission. There is no empty content in this game, and it is up there with the best. If you've never played this, stop what you're doing, like the video, and play this game. If you're surprised that there are some games in here that I haven't put in, it's because probably I haven't played them enough in order to put them on this list. I want to hear your thoughts about your top games on the PS5. I want you to comment below your top 5 games you have played on the PS5. Let's take a look at the comment of the day from my previous video, revisiting God of War 2018 on the PS5. Shout out to Brian Hunter. Here at 2.2k subs, I'm sure you're going to go up fast, love the content, and you're super funny and insightful. Thank you for the comment, Brian. I really appreciate it. The ultimate goal is 100,000 subscribers and we're nearly there. If you want to help out the channel, I am on Patreon now, where I can help you edit your videos or show you how I edit my videos. And I'm going to sit here and figure out where my girlfriend is. It's been ages. Oh, we should play some PlayStation.